Girl, Openly Real Advice for Lovers. My name is Ashley, and today we're going to be answering questions from my viewers. I posted something up recently and asked people to ask me anything. So I'm going to dive right in, and I'm going to answer the first question. The first one is from one of my friends, Sarah. She asks, what qualities define a good lover in regards to performance, intimacy, and or bedside manner? So one thing that I'm going to say, I'm going to sound like a broken record, communication. Communication is number one in any relationship. You always have to communicate. It's so important. I just recently spoke to somebody about something that I was going through, and she was telling me it's so much easier to have the conversation with somebody that's difficult rather than waiting until it gets to an awkward point and having to explain yourself and why you were being a douchebag. So have those conversations and make sure that you are on the same page with your lover or whomever at all times. For performance, understanding what it is that your partner likes or dislikes. Have those conversations. Make sure that don't just go right into it with somebody that you're with for the first time and just be like, boom, I'm gonna spank your ass really, really hard. You know what? A lot of people don't like to be spanked. Just be gentle. For instance, like with me, I take a while to warm up to a new lover, so I wait to see how the chemistry is, and then kind of work with that, and then kind of make our own, rather than just like, boom, this is how I am, and you're just gonna have to take it. Intimacy and bedside manner, all really kind of the same thing. I feel like it's just really important to understand and start off at like a certain level with somebody and then take it up or down from there. But yeah, okay, on to the next question. Okay, so this person is saying, asking for a friend. After being with someone for like a while, a year, how does one get over the shyness and tell the other person what they want in bed? First of all, no. I'm sorry, my friend. You should be telling your lover what you want from day one. You don't wait until a year later. If you're waiting a year later to finally tell them what you want, you really need to work on... you know what? Maybe I should name this episode Communication, because that is the key to good sex, being able to communicate. You really, really, really need to be able to tell your lover what you want from day one. If that comfort level isn't there, then maybe this isn't the right person for you. Eek. I said that. Yep, I went there. What is one thing sexually that you thought you really... Oh, God. This is my derby wife who's asking this question. Oh, God. What is one... I get all flustered when people ask me questions. What is one thing sexually that you thought you wouldn't enjoy, but tried anyways, on a whim, whatever, and wound up loving? So in one of my last episodes, I talked about, I'm so uncomfortable and I'm like tearing. So in one of my last episodes, I talked about how, I've never pegged somebody, and in the past, I have kind of thought that it would be something that I would never ever want to do. But in the heat of the moment with somebody, I asked, and he was okay with it, and I did it, and it was hot. Okay, on to the next one. Any tips for someone who's been in a monogamous relationship for 7 years and has totally lost their sex drive? Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Sex drive is like a chemical imbalance with my experience. Depending on how old you are, When we are in our teens and in our 20s, our sex drive isn't really as high as it is when we're in our 30s and 40s. There are things that you possibly can be taking, like medication that you take every day that can affect your sex drive, and I would look into that. I found that when I had a really low sex drive a few years ago, to get myself back into it, because I was on a medication that was causing me to have a low libido, I just kind of like, because I'm a very sexual person, and I love the feeling of like wanting to masturbate, like getting all hot and heavy and having nobody around and be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it myself. Just kind of like forcing it and forcing that feeling. And even if you're not in the mood, just kind of like do it like maybe like every day or every other day, or try with like maybe twice a week with just like masturbating. And then that'll get you like kind of hot and heavy. There's also a couple of really great toys out there. One that's by WeVibe. It's called the Sync. It looks like a pussy paperclip. Honestly, it clips. It goes on your vagina and it like holds in there. And part of it goes inside of you and part of it is on your clit. And it has an app to it. Anybody that you allow to have access to this toy can play with the vibrations of it and kind of get you in the mood. So I'm also a really firm believer of kissing. I think kissing is very sensual and intimate, and it says a lot about who somebody is as a lover. And if somebody is a good kisser, they're probably going to be really good in bed. I would say spend the full 30 seconds, it's a long time, of kissing your partner. And then full on tongue, everything. And by the end of the 30 seconds, your juices should be flowing, and then you'll kind of probably want to go bone. So that's my suggestion. Masturbate, talk dirty, try using some toys, and kissing. That's what I would do. Report back. I want to know how that works. Okay, so this person, how do you know when a woman is faking an orgasm or not? Wetness. However, not all women get as wet as others. But if she's really wet in the beginning, then she has the ability to get wet. The wetness kind of changes when a woman comes. Again, it's different with every woman, but for me personally, my wetness changes after I come. There's usually a pulse, not necessarily from the inside, but like right at the entrance of the vagina. There's kind of a little pulse that happens. Also, her heart rate will change, and that's like kind of across the board. Unless you're like that woman from like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where she's like, oh, I just came. Anyways, so those are some signs, yes. What do you think a woman wants after being in a relationship for 15 plus years? A fucking vacation, honestly. I want to go on vacation and have out of zip code sex. Because when you are not in your zip code and you're staying in a hotel room, the sex changes. It is not the same. And I want to go on vacation. I want to like have the windows open. I want people to hear me fucking and not worry about ever seeing them again. And yeah, so take her on fucking vacation and fuck the shit out of her. There we go. Nipples. What's up, buddy? And all the ways to stimulate them and how much to touch. Okay, this is different for everybody. So I can answer this question, but it's going to be just from my personal experience. I have had an ex who only gets off from nipple stimulation, like full on orgasm from nipple stimulation. It was amazing. However, I have been with people that like don't touch my nipples. They're like not into it. It hurts. Okay, that's totally fine. You know those moments, sidetrack, you know those moments when you're just like laying in bed cuddling and you're just like brushing your hand like up and down like each other's bodies, and you're just like kind of talking about shit, that's the moment to take advantage of and talk about these things. Talk about what you like. Ask those questions about what they like. It's so important. And that's how I found out about one of my former lovers who didn't like his nipples played with. My head was on his chest, and I was rubbing his chest, and I started playing with his nipple a little bit, and he's like, oh, no, don't do that. Oh, you don't like your nipples played with at all? Okay, that's fine, cool. That is such a simple conversation to have. Rather than doing or not doing and having your lover not have as good of an experience as you want them to. So, alright, so that was the last question. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys have any other questions or anything, put them down below. Please don't forget to subscribe, spread the word, and